Hello Hornby fans. Today, as many of you may know, is World Mental Health Day. So we thought that was a good time to take a look back at our original Mind the Gap event. So for those of you who weren't there and don't know, a few years back we did a Mind the Gap event in support of Mind, just to showcase the mental health benefits of hobbies and celebrate you at home and all the communities that are in our model railway and hobby communities. So we wanted to take a look back at some of our favourite parts. First up, we have two clips from two people you may know, Tony Wright and Jenny Kirk.
Welcome once more to Little Bidlam, and a further presentation with regard to Hornby's locomotives and rolling stock. Now this is closely linked with mental well-being. Now I can speak from very personal experience, having suffered from depression on a couple of occasions during my life. And having a creative, complex, inventive, personal hobby can be a very great boon. Certainly in times when I've not felt so well, I've not been able to do it always, but when I'm ready, turning my attention to altering, detailing, improving items like these has been an immense strength for me. And I can assure you, I recommend it to anyone.
We're Mind, the mental health charity. We're here for anyone with a mental health problem in England and Wales. We work nationally and locally. Nationally, we give advice and support to anyone who needs it. We campaign to improve services and speak out to raise awareness too. We're funded by donations, grants and profits from our charity shops. If you donate or fundraise for Mind, 85p of every pound goes to our charitable activities. On the High Street, we have over 150 shops selling clothes, books and toys. They give away free mental health information booklets to anyone who needs them. In communities, we have a network of over 140 local Minds, independent charities that raise their own funds and have their own trustees. Local Minds deliver mental health services to hundreds of thousands of people each year. Being local, they understand their community and tailor their services in response. We work in partnership with our local Mind network, delivering high-quality services to everyone who needs them. Together with our shops and our local Mind network, we are Mind.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer Kirk. You may know me from YouTube and also a number of different television series that have been on a variety of different channels over the years. But today I want to talk to you about something of a more personal nature. And well, mental health today is very much in people's minds, and it's kind of the invisible disability. And a lot of people do go through depression, really bad depression, and I felt that it was right today of all days to say to you that you're not alone if you're going through the same. There's a lot of other people, myself included, who have suffered greatly with depression ever since my teenage years, if not before, and certainly I've been on antidepressants since my teenage years. It's something that I have very much struggled with, and I know a lot of other people do as well. I want you guys to know you're not alone, and there's a lot of people that you can talk to get through this. You shouldn't feel ashamed to be depressed. There's nothing to be ashamed about. And I also wanted to share with you some of the things that have helped me through this period, including railway modelling. And I found that whenever The pressures of depression have got quite high. It's very easy to lose your modelling mojo, but in having this hobby to fall back on, what I found is if I push myself into doing it, it gives me a sense of achievement that is very important to dispel depression, and nothing dispels that black dog of feeling that the world is getting on top of you than to be able to make something that you're proud of. And for me, that's what modelling has done.
Thank you to both Tony and Jenny for participating in the original Mind the Gap. Some very wise words there. So why are we talking about hobbies and mental health? Well, as you know, today is World Mental Health Day. And for me personally, I can say that I have had experience with struggling with mental health. For those of you who have watched the channel for a while, you'll know that I'm very honest about that. I have issues with anxiety and depression. For me, as with everyone, it's very unique and individual to the person. I've had some troubles throughout my life. When I was younger, a family member sadly took their life, which affected me quite drastically. And you know, I think there's a lot of differing views about mental health. For me, the way that it affects me is I become sort of foggy, hazy, and it becomes kind of difficult to make decisions. Everything comes a little bit messy, and some days it is a struggle to do ordinary things, even the things that you may love. It just kind of takes over, and there are lots of different ways, and I've tried different ways throughout the years to kind of manage that. And for many people, I'll always get told, you know, you're a really positive and calm person. I would never expect that of you. Maybe that's a bit of a face. I'm someone that kind of likes to help people, and I find that kind of detracts me a little bit from how I'm feeling, which is probably both a good and a bad thing. But over the time that I've worked here at Hornby and across all of the different brands that Hornby Hobbies has, one thing I've noticed and take great pride in being a part of is that hobbies are a huge part of people's life, and hobbies are a really positive influence on people's mental health. I think that everyone should have a hobby, whether it's watching films or going walking or running or anything like that. And obviously, when we talk about our hobby, we're talking about model railways, and for other brands, you know, slot cars, model building. I think they have various different benefits, whether it's that it's something you're so passionate about that, you know, it fills your time with happiness and joy, whether it's focus and taking you away from the externals and kind of focusing you in on something and taking you away for a little while, or whether it's participating in a community like you may be part of in the model railway community, socialising and sharing that hobby with others. I think times can get tough. We may find it difficult to allow ourselves the time to be able to do the things that we love, and in some ways it can almost become a little stressful that you can't find the time to do the things you love, and you can kind of get in a bit of a circle there. But it's you know, it can't be, you can't put down, I suppose, the benefits of having a hobby. And with us, with the benefits of model railway, there are so many, whether it's collecting locomotives, running locomotives, building layouts, being a part of a community that builds together. You may not necessarily notice the benefits while you're in it, because that's the nature of it. You're participating and you're just being present. But I think those long-term effects are hugely important, and you know, it's one of the reasons I love this company, and I love the people out there that are part of this community, because meeting them and seeing the passion and seeing the dedication they have to their hobby is, you know, it brings a smile to my face, and it makes me a little lighter on my feet. So Yeah, I mean, I'm not one to really talk too much about myself, so that, apologies there if that was a little bit of a monologue, but I think it gives you a bit of context as to why I'm here speaking about it. And obviously, I'm no expert. I can't give anyone advice, and we can't do that. But Mind is a great charity, and there are plenty of other mental health charities that you can search online that have lots of support. If you are struggling, reach out to them, talk to a friend. You're not alone, and I've certainly realised that in my life, as even in the times where I felt alone, I'm not. And even though I find it difficult to reach out sometimes, it can be the step you need to kind of get yourself feeling better. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look now at a clip with myself and Andy, who used to work for Worley Model Railway Club, as we built a small diorama layout together and talked about mental health in the hobby. So obviously the today's event is all about mental health and well-being and things, and we kind of briefly had a chat kind of off camera, and we were talking about anxiety, which is something that I'm sure a lot of people at home experience on various different levels. I know myself, I experience it a lot. Do you find that something that you deal with?
It's one of these things that sort of sneaks upon you when you don't think about it, and the strangest times really. A couple of weeks ago I went up Snowdon, and I haven't done Snowdon for climbed a mountain for a few years with COVID, and and a couple of times I got to places where a bit of exposure, a bit of and all of a sudden you think, can I do this still? Am I still, last time I went up I got a chest infection, I wasn't well, and I was proper ill, but I didn't know I was ill, so it was a proper struggle. So to all of a sudden, to find myself back on a mountain on the same route that I did last time, which I really struggled with, it took a bit of sort of talking to yourself, saying, look, you can do this, you've got it. It can be quite easy to sort of turn around and sort of stop and go back down again, but it's it's a bit of mental
that's it, isn't it?
Confidence really, just to think, I can do this. And I suppose the same with modelling really. It's just there's times when you think, I can't do it, this is above my skill level. And sometimes you just need to stop and take stock, look at what you've done before, and go, I can do it. And again, sometimes when you've got friends around you, clubs, or especially if you work in these sort of environments, Hornby, there's plenty of people that can support you. And,
I think that's something I've noticed a lot about talking to people for this event, is how beneficial the social side of things is, and that not everyone is a social creature, so to speak, in the traditional terms, but being around people that share your interests, and that have a common love of something is quite something. I mean, I've got friends. I'm an avid fan of professional wrestling, the American style, and I've got friends, and we've bonded over that, and it's something you can always talk about, and it's something that other people maybe don't particularly have an interest in, so it's kind of niche in that sense. And I think you, as someone who experiences anxiety in the sense of that there's nothing necessarily causing the anxiety as such, I'm not anxious about doing something, much like you were saying, you're anxious about going up, but mine tends to be just that feeling of anxiety, I suppose, as if something bad's going to happen or something like that. And I'm very much a doer, someone that likes to just get on, do things. If I sat and think too much, then that's where things crop up for me. And I think having done this job now for 4.5 years and having spoken to people, modelling, hobbies in general are exactly that. You're doing something and you're kind of, I don't want to say tricking your brain, because that kind of diminishes it, but just diverting it a little bit so that you get a bit of perspective,
It's
and then your
like
body just
like
kind
a
of
reset.
and your body kind of settles down. You go, okay, no, it's okay, it's fine. You know, you can do this. You have done this, you know, this climb before, or this part of your hobby or whatever. And yeah, the old adage of you're your own worst enemy sometimes can be
Absolutely.
very, very true.
You know, it's the problem is with a lot of mental health issues. It's not obvious to other people.
No.
And people don't. Only you know what you're going through.
Yeah.
And it's something you need to, you know, like I said, talking is a great way.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's good that it's now sort of. It's more of a. Again, I don't need to say I'm wrong, but like a mainstream thing now where people are talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not sort of.
It's not as taboo.
No,
is
it's
it?
not sort of the old, you know, like you're away in a padded cell and.
Or don't talk about
don't
it.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. It's, you know, it's that sort of.
I think because the world in general is such a different place to even 10 years ago. You know, things like we've mentioned it a few times in the various different things we've had for the event, but social media is almost the elephant in the room, really, because it has a lot to answer for people thinking less of themselves, like self-esteem, higher, kind of holding themselves accountable for a lot more, you know, image, everything from image to, you know, even with modelling, you might see someone's layout that they've done. Wow, I could never do that, you know. But they're not going to put up on their social media the times they went wrong, or the, you know, the things. It's the same with. I love films, and I've done my own films. I've worked on my own films, and at the end of the day, no one sees the final. You know, you no one's seen the 8 cuts of, I don't know, of The Godfather before, where there was problems with it and it didn't quite work right. They just see the final product, and that's what they want you to see. And I think social media tends to be exactly that, a very edited version of life. Thank you to Andy for participating in the first Mind the Gap event. Now, in our first event, we raised money for Mind, and everyone was absolutely amazing in donating for a wonderful charity, and we wanted to do the same thing again this year. So we've set up a GoFundMe page where you can donate anything you'd like. Obviously, if you don't, that's fine. We don't expect you to. But if you do, any donations, we have a nice bundle that we're giving away to you to say thank you to one person for donating. The bundle is a TT bundle, so you'll get a TT set, TT buildings and scenic, so you can spend some time building maybe your first layout ever, just to showcase, you know, the benefits and the mindful side of building a full layout and running those trains on a layout. So all you have to do is go to the link below and you'll get all the details. You can donate if you'd like to, and one of you will get that prize as a big thank you for supporting Mind. So hit the link below and hopefully we'll see you there.
I think the model railway aspect of it really was just trying to replicate the real thing. You know, we often go like train spotting in London, I was from London, in Liverpool Street or King's Cross, places like that. So it's really trying to replicate and just, to sort of concentrate and remember what we used to do as train spotters, I am a member of Faversham Model Railway Club as well, so I go there occasionally. It's a bit of a trek to go over there, but I do attend there now and again. It's quite a good club to be a member of. You can just really sort of sink yourself into whatever the hobby is. I mean, it goes for any hobby you want to, it's just that opportunity to concentrate on something other than life, just to lose yourself in something that's relevant, irrelevant or whatever, just something you're pleased doing. I'm lucky I've got a shed at home, big model shed, so I've got a layout in there that I'm building, have been building for some time. It's also my workshop where I do a lot of my modelling in there as well. So it's just a nice opportunity to get out there for a few hours a day, in the evening maybe, put the radio on, listen to some loud music and then just lose yourself in the time. I build a lot of plastic kits as well. I've been doing those for years. I do the odd occasional article for magazines. I've written for Airfix Model World in the past and Scale Aircraft Modelling and a few. They're just how to build. So I'm currently doing Airfix's Vulcan, which is quite an exciting kit to build. I've been looking forward to that for many years since the original one in '83 was first issued. So yeah, great opportunity. There's a lot of similarities. I mean, there's certain skills that I've learned from model railways that I would never need in model aircraft. I mean, that's electric soldering, white metal even as well. I'm so used to working with plastics, plastic kits, but it's quite different now working with white metal, soldering, things like that. But there is a lot of crossover. There's a lot of skills that I've learnt really from model aircraft that are transferable to the model railway hobby as well. Certainly painting, painting skills, decaling, things like that. I'm working on a layout over there which is going to be a shunting puzzle. It's going to be fully DCC. I'm just working out the next challenge will be to get the point motors in. We're reimagining a layout. It was donated to us by someone, the widow of a modeller. So we've reimagining it as a smaller layout to what it was, but we want to use as much of the original features of that model as we can. As a little nod to the person who built it, who spent so much time building it. So we'll certainly be using all the buildings from that, a lot of the track, and yeah, just to sort of keep the spirit of that model alive, really. Well, as I said earlier, it's really an opportunity to escape. I'll be retiring soon next year, so I don't know if that will mean more time modelling or more time with the grandchildren or what really. I don't know yet, but we'll see. So yes, yeah, I've got the young lads are they're often standing on stalls in my shed and playing with the trains, or literally playing with the trains, but yeah, they'll be involved in that, I think.
Mind's one-to-one guided self-help model is for adults experiencing mild to moderate mental health problems, such as anxiety or depression. Over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, clients receive a weekly phone call from a trained practitioner. They also receive a range of materials to support them to understand their feelings, develop new coping strategies, and improve their well-being. It bridges the gap between steps 1 and 2 of the stepped care model and follows NICE guidelines. It isn't counselling or cognitive behavioural therapy, but our mental health practitioners do use similar skills and tools and many other resources in their support. Guided self-help is an effective early intervention and can help people who wouldn't otherwise meet the threshold for talking therapies. In addition to supporting common mental health problems like anxiety and depression, it can also support with many other problems, and clients can use the strategies they've learned well beyond the course of the intervention. The service is also suitable for someone already waiting for a higher tier service, such as therapy or counselling. It has been designed to be as accessible as possible, helping to meet demand quickly, and can support clients while they're waiting, helping them start to understand their problems and prepare them for further support. The service was developed in partnership between a local Mind and GP practices, responding to the local challenge of long wait lists, repeat appointments, and overprescription of antidepressants. It's proven to work as a national programme as well as a locally commissioned service in communities across England, Wales, and the Channel Islands. Nationally, we've reached over 20,000 people so far and built a robust evidence base for its effectiveness. More than 80% of people have seen improvements in anxiety, depression, and general well-being. But what's in it for commissioners? This service is proven to support accessibility, helping to combat local wait lists. It provides choice to clients and offers an alternative to prescriptions. It has an easy referral pathway where you can refer patients or they can self-refer. On average, it costs less per client than a typical talking therapy. The model can be tailored to suit specific audience needs, for example, children and young people. We know that it works and people like it. Get in touch to find out more about supported self-help and how it can help you meet local mental health demand.
So So obviously we're talking about the benefits of hobbies today, in particular obviously our community, but recently you may have seen that we commissioned a piece of material, a white paper on the return of the hobby and the benefits of the hobby. I've got one nicely printed here, and it's on screen, which you can download from our websites, and you'll see stuff in our social media. And there's some really interesting things in there about how hobbies can really benefit us, whatever your hobby is, whether it's outdoors and nature, or music and performing arts, or of course model railways, culinary arts and cooking. So just some statistics to throw out there, because who doesn't like a statistic? 93% of people in the UK have an active hobby. Now that's a huge number, and many people may not assume that. I guess that depends on kind of what people might deem as a hobby. So hobbies really do make us happy. They are a direct investment into our well-being and our mental health. And the benefits of hobbies amongst those with an active hobby, 50% of people say it improves their mental health. 48% say it keeps their mind active. 48% say it's for stress relief. 46% say it keeps them busy, 42% say that it's increased happiness for them, and 38% physical health. Again, you can read all these statistics here, but the creativity side of things, the benefits of focus, the benefits of being a part of a community, we throw statistics around a lot, so some of you may be, okay, well, it's a statistic, we can find lots of those. But I think for those who are in the hobby or have a hobby, they will kind of see that and go, I agree with that. It makes me happier, it makes me feel lifted and better in myself. One thing I found that a lot of people, myself included, will tend to pick hobbies that are maybe more singular and not part of a community, but apparently, according to this white paper, it is more beneficial to hobby together, which is an interesting thing. So I don't want to labour too much on it, but obviously you can read our white paper on our website and find out all the information about that, and of course let us know in the comments below how you feel that your hobby impacts your mental health. So I wanted to take a bit of time, because it's all about focus, it's all about taking some time for yourself and keeping yourself calm. So I wanted to take a few minutes to let you have a calm, mindful locomotive running session. So we've gone away and we've filmed some locomotives on the layout for you. So just enjoy and stick with your thoughts for a few minutes. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for allowing me to talk a little bit more about the well-being and mental health benefits of the hobby, and talking a little bit about myself. We will return to normal resumed content with Locomotives, etc. But again, thank you for those who participated in the original Mind the Gap, and thank you for being here today. Again, if you are struggling, do reach out to any of the mental health charities that are out there, Mind, and many others that you can find online. Thank you for being a part of the hobby. Thank you for being here and being a part of this and helping me to cope with my struggles. And in the comments below, please do say hello. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.
So, what is depression? It's when a low mood lasts for weeks, or even months, or it's so bad it stops you doing everyday things. You might wonder why you feel this way. There could be an obvious reason, like a life event, problems with your physical health, or money issues. It might be a mix of reasons, or no obvious reason at all. Whether there's a reason or not, your experience is valid. You might feel hopeless, worthless, isolated, or even numb. Depression can affect your sleep, appetite, and physical health, or lead to avoiding things you usually enjoy, difficulty concentrating, and even self-harm or suicide. This can be really distressing, but even if it doesn't feel like it right now, you deserve help and you're not alone. Getting support can take time, and you may need to try different things before you find what works for you. Talking to your doctor is a good first step. Look into talking therapy services. Charities like Mind can offer support too. Remember, you deserve to feel well, and things can get better.